This is the single biggest opportunity the construction industry has ever seen. By the end of this year, I want £1 million a month. This morning, I want to go in and find out who's responsible. We need a 3-strike policy and we're out. And as far as I'm concerned, needs being given 1 strike today. The one and only Ant Middleton. Please listen to what I'm going to say here right now, yeah? Because this is going to be the best lesson I'm ever going to teach you. It was almost confirmation that I wasn't crazy.
So like the law of attraction?
Yeah, the law of attraction, 100%. Within 2.5 years, I was doing £1 million a month. I went from everything to nothing. Everything I was posting out was getting hammered. It was brutal. A year later, I'd got the business to doing £200,000 a month in sales. 5.5 million in our first 2.5 years. And now I'm back because I've got unfinished business. So Patrick is now asking all candidates to send in a 60-second video of who they are and why they should be considered for an interview. That immediately allowed me to reject quite a number of people, meaning you saved me a lot of time.
He was going to do it over 12 months, but he got declined for 12 and he could only do it over 3. So obviously the challenge was then to sort of convince him that he's got to now pay $4 a month and then get him to pay $3 up front as well. So and I kind of sat down with him, I just said, he said the same thing, that he still needs to talk to his missus, and I said, have you not spoken to her for 6 months?
Jay's booking number for the last one, the attendance wasn't great, but the booking number was the highest we've seen with the £29 ticket strategy, so that was really good. The other win is actually Ashton, where you were to tweaking your pitch and seeing your conversion rate of leads coming into booking has massively improved.
Last week I sort of hit every daily target we had set for bookings.
Number 1 is obviously winning the award on Friday night. Millionaire Mastermind at the top of the Gherkin was another massive win. And then finally, it's recruitment. And it's just great to welcome people with top skills back to the business. And I'm excited to move this business forward quickly, keep expanding this team out. That's what makes business fun for me. Big week ahead. Let's go smash it. Well done, everyone. Thank you very much. So me and Chris have been doing some analysis this morning on our discovery days and just looking back over the activity over the last 3 months. We went for a period where we were trying to transition fully over to recurring revenue contracts. So fill out the discovery day, do the pitch on the day, and then sell the customer a £2,000 a month, 12-month contract. Yeah, and that works all day long. You know, the conversion rate is there. That's never been our problem, the sales piece. The challenge has always been the front end and the show up rate. Obviously, we still have a few £100,000 of cost that we need to cover each month. So we can't just switch our core strategy over to monthlies without, you know, other sales strategies happening and expect the business to be able to cash flow it. There is a certain amount of revenue those 4 discovery days can produce. And what is it, Chris, that you've been able to forecast?
219,000 for boiler and renewables.
Yeah, 219,000. Now, in September, from those discovery days and running for, we generated £109,000 in sales because the show-up rate wasn't there, but the conversion rate was a lot higher. So what we're expecting in October is that we're going to achieve an additional £100,000 from the same level of activity because the show-up rate is going to be there. That's the difference between that additional £100,000 in sales, is making sure the people actually show up. Cheers, guys. Well done. Thank you. Let's go for it. Big moves ahead. By the end of this year, I want £1 million a month. By March, we're going to be doing £1 million a month, so get ready. No more fucking around. Fucking hell. It literally is the office, isn't it? I was very frustrated, and I'm not blaming you, I'm blaming me first. I let the move happen. It was a bad leadership call. Cool, excellent. All right, Chris, I'll let you drop on with these two guys. I'm just going to quickly... I think, in a nutshell, it's probably more entertaining now that I've watched some of it. I mean, it just looks nuts. It's a direct reflection of what is actually fucking happening. Yeah, it's like scene after scene after scene. Cool. All right. Well, I do actually like it now that I've actually sat and watched it. Today we're at the Holiday Inn in Peterborough. You can see it just over here. And we are running what we call the 7-figure solar and EV business builder, where we're basically teaching these electricians that you see in the car park how to build a 7-figure business. Let's go in and close some deals. You can see on Ashton's face how nervous he is now that he's seen me as to whether there's a lot of people or no people. How's it going, buddy? How are we getting on? Miss out slightly. 13 and 20 is a pretty significant slightly. That's like by 40%. Morning, guys! Cheers, Paul. Excellent stuff. The intros just keep getting better and better every time, don't they? Ready to learn how to build 7-figure solar and EV businesses? Raise your hand. Who wants that? I will just say, if I was a carpenter right now, I'd quit carpentry and I'd get straight into this EV and solar game. 100%. This is the single biggest opportunity the construction industry has ever seen. The results were quite disappointing. Show-up rate wasn't there today, and there's got to be a minimum amount of businesses in the room to really kind of create the energy, the buzz and the excitement, and today that just wasn't there. When that show-up rate isn't there, you tend to see the conversion rate isn't there either, and I don't think we did very good on sales. I think we only did a couple of sales at the back end of the day, so not what we would have hoped for or liked or expected. Sometimes on these discovery days you can have a mix of businesses and you do super well. Other times you can have a mix of businesses and it just completely bombs. It's hard to predict why or to understand why, because you can do the exact same thing one day and it works, and the exact same thing another and it doesn't work. That's just sales though, right? That's just the way of the sales world. But it is what it is. What's up? Good morning, it's JV here, and I've called a team meeting with my senior managers first thing this morning. We had an event yesterday that didn't perform, results didn't come. This morning I want to go in and find out who's responsible. We want to find out who was responsible for the failure of yesterday and what we're going to do to make sure that it doesn't happen again. In your opinion, who was responsible for the failure of yesterday, Chris?
I think the first two obviously sit. The sales conversion, I would say, sits with you. The target off the back end for attendance was 80%, and we only hit 46, so close to half of what it should have been.
We need a 3-strike policy and we're out. And as far as I'm concerned, needs being given 1 strike today. The numbers didn't show up. He spent all month on making sure these numbers have shown up. These leads are costing us hundreds and hundreds of pounds. We can't come out of that event with £6,000. It's a fucking shambles. Obviously, this is the worst conversion rate that we've had in a long time on any of these events. It's easy to get complacent when the event is so strong at the front end and you're banging out 15 granders and you don't have a problem. But it's days like today that obviously it's clear there's a weakness where we don't have a robust follow-up process. We've under-delivered big time, and now we've got to make the money back, yeah?
You've got your telephone call agenda there,
yeah.
Now, and then you've got your filming agenda today with Izzy there.
Came in this morning, pulled the senior team together. Results weren't where we need them to be. Now I'm starting to make people accountable. I see the core priorities, and it's about making sure that the leaders that I have in the business see those core priorities as well and give them the opportunity to make the decision to move people forward, or if they don't, I'll make it for them. So that was what this morning's meeting was all about. And now I'm just about to go and see my customer accounts team who haven't delivered anything this whole week. We're going to go in there and we're going to go and find out why. A couple of things. You can get your pipelines up for me, please. So Tony, you're sat on 11 prospects, 21 no answers. You've got 2 people in follow-up. I feel like over the last 2 weeks, you've both told me names that should have closed by now, and for whatever reason, you aren't getting the job done and you aren't closing the deals. So I need to understand why. I'm not paying salespeople to speak to people. I'm paying salespeople to close deals. If you ain't closing deals, then there's a problem, isn't there? I've been waiting 5 weeks for that customer to get over the line, and you guys just keep shooting and missing, shooting and missing, shooting and missing. I've got to quickly go and do this call with the Telegraph, so I'll be back in a minute, yeah? So I'm just about to go onto a call now with the Telegraph to talk about something. I'm not sure what, but we'll find out.
Were you wealthy growing up?
No, we weren't. We were quite poor growing up. We struggled financially. My mum worked 3 or 4 jobs. My dad, unfortunately, didn't work. Not down to health issues, just chose not to. Was an alcoholic. Things were very, very tough for us. My first actual job, I was 13 years of age, and I worked in a local pub doing the pot washing. And I was getting about £3 £3 an hour, and I used to have to wash up what felt like 1,000 plates and knives and forks on a Saturday and Sunday. I think the most I ever spent on a pot of caviar was about £2,000. That was in Quaglino's in Mayfair. You're a star. Thanks for your time. Cheers. Bye. What we used to do at Impra, which worked really nicely after a while, after a pitch, you've got 48 hours to close that deal or it's getting taken away from you. And then the urgency just completely changed. If they realised they weren't going to make any money off the commission, then all of a sudden, oh, no, it's my league now. I do want to call it, yeah? That is what we need to introduce. Please listen to what I'm going to say here right now, yeah? Because this is going to be the best lesson I'm ever going to teach you. It's not how they work, it's how you work. You are in control, not them. If you make it about when they want to do it, you'll be forever fucking chasing deals down until the cows come home. So 15 grand from today and 15 grand from today. That's one deal each so far. That's 30,000 we're expecting off those two deals today, yeah? You can tell him now, yeah, that we've got 2 more speakers confirmed. That is Ant Middleton, yeah, and James Khan. Dragon's Den, yeah. Yeah, job done, 10 grand bargain. Close it off today, Iwalker. This afternoon, we've got some new ads being shot. On the tools versus off the tools. And we're going to smash up a toolbox. Dirty workman versus wearing a suit. And we're going to cover Brandon in shoe polish. And then we've gone with van versus Range Rover. Cool. All right, guys, that gives me enough to get cracking. Yeah, so basically, project complete, team set up, responsibilities delegated. Yeah, I'm happy. That's a really important piece of the puzzle that I needed to get locked off. I remember it's got to be nearly a year since you joined the academy and you just started. Now you can bop off for 3 weeks and get 9 boilers fitted. What a year it's been.
At this current month, revenue-wise, I've managed to turn over just under 300k.
Wow.
So going from that to 80, so
Smashed
big
it.
jump up for me that is, yeah, which is good. And obviously we've still got 3 months of the year left.
Mate, you've done so well. You should be so proud of yourself. Yeah, you've absolutely killed it. Maybe if I go up to him and go, so guys, this is Patrick and he's tired of working on the tools. He can't build his business because of X, Y, and Z, and then I'll rip off the high vis like that, and then I'll throw the toolbox at Brandon like that, yeah? I'll smash that off his head, then I'll rip the high vis off, then I'll get the toolbox off, then I'll pull his trousers down. Guys, this is Patrick and it's time for him to get off the tools. If you want to get off the tools, if you want to hit your sales out the park like I just hit this sledgehammer, like I just hit this spirit level, then join us at the next Discovery Day. So at the minute, I'm just going through each one of our accounts and just checking how much cash we've got in each account. It's something that I do each day, every day, to track the manual cash movements. And there's nothing more motivating than not having enough money, and there's nothing more motivating than having loads of money. So at the minute, we're kind of in between the two, I think. It's made me look at a lot of expenses and actually cut quite a few out, which is very beneficial. Saving quite a lot of money, which is great. I go through my agenda each day, have my calendar printed out, understand what meetings I've got in, go through, check everything off, open up any important mail. I've just had 2 new credit cards delivered this morning, which is great. We like credit cards. These have each got a £50,000 limit on them. In business, you want to be keeping as much cash as possible, so you need to put everything on credit. You never want to use your debit card. Credit card builds your credit score. You have loads of protections if something goes wrong with the purchase. If you're using your credit cards wisely and you're paying them off quickly, you're never actually having to suffer any of the interest anyway, so it makes it a no-brainer. So we've got here, make 1 million in profit. I'm writing that goal down for the month of October, is make 1 million in profit. The chances of it happening are slim to fucking none. But do I write down make 1 million in profit? Absolutely. Why? Because I may well hit it if I write the fucking down. If I don't write it down, I'm never going to hit it. Excellent. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Before we start, I'd like to introduce 2 new team members to the team. So first and foremost, we have Monique. Hi, Monique. And second of all, we have Roberto. Let's give these guys a nice round of applause and a nice welcome to the team. bringing in new people to the organisation. I think it freshens up the business, shares the workload, makes my vision start to become easier to achieve because there's actually lots and lots of people to help achieve it. We are going to go through the organisation and we're going to start to implement 3 things: strategy, operating model, and the ability to execute. Your KPIs will allow you to be in a position where you can get bonused. One thing that I want in this organisation is everybody to be bonused in some way, shape or form. I don't want this just about the sales team making money. I want everybody making money across the organisation and having something to go out there and get. Just an update, we are looking for a new office, and it's either going to be over the other side of this building with an event space and our own entrance and all of that type of stuff, or it's going to be another building. I tell you what I do want is a steam room area and a shower. No, I want it at the office because I fucking want it in the office. If I'm here, I want a steamer. I like it at the fucking office. It's good for everybody. Here he is. Hey man, how are you? No worries.
So you're like, this is perfect for you, isn't it? This is.
Well, perfect's a strong word. It's suitable if we can get the rest of it done how we need it to be. If not, it's a non-starter.
Well, we can. So
Well, I can do whatever you want done, Joe.
you are.
This is where we are now, here.
Yeah.
There's your 2 offices.
Yeah.
Right. Going to go prepared and punch through here.
Break through there.
Break through
We should
there.
take you to the kitchen breakout area.
If you want it as a kitchen breakout.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Is
then,
that other little room at the
That's
back
that other
there?
room at the
Yeah,
back there.
okay, cool.
And then coming into the conference room.
Cool. Well, basically, with everything that's said, pretty much know where we're going now.
Well, and I just need a plan from you
Yeah.
of what you want where.
If you could do the conference room first, because then we could actually start using that, then we...
How long to do that conference room and the breakout rooms?
You're probably talking, get it all done, you're probably talking 3 months to get it all
Yeah.
done.
And what about getting 2 parking spaces here on this grass?
Wait a minute, what about 2 parking spaces out here?
Perfect.
Just 2.
No, well, if you're going to do it, you may as well give us fucking 10 out there for the whole team.
Gav, we just dig this out, we just put 4 spaces out there. If we get you 4 out there, we'll get you 4.
Cool.
But we'll guarantee you 2.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. We've only done 6,500 out of all of that event and all of that spend and all of that work. We need to have an offer that's going to those guys, and a proper nurture sequence built was what I wanted to establish. We need somebody that's got the experience to have a proper nurture sequence built and put in for all of these leads in between. It all needs properly mapping out. Getting them to show up to the event is just one bit. What happens post the event, and what does that timeline look like? That's where we need to put most of our attention. That's where all the hard work is done. At the minute, we're brushing that under the carpet and going back to generating more fucking leads to go into a pipeline of low conversion rate of a 40% show up rate to then generate 1 sale. It's like all of the work goes into the front, and then the bit where it really counts, where they've been qualified by the event, and there's no work set up or nothing established. We've got 7 or 8 businesses that are sat there that haven't bought, and we've got to find out what we're going to get to them that's going to get them to buy.
Okay, so top line figures, premium credit is, we have a total of £798,000 worth of applications in with a £75,000 fee. So in total, we're owed that minus that, which is £722,000. We've received to date £619,000, so the difference is £102,000. We've got £18,000 coming in tomorrow. We've got £36,000 coming in the next day, and then the remainder of it is going to be coming in hopefully before the end of this week.
So everybody in the department, you're making them pick a superhero name, including you 2 guys now, yeah?
Professor Hulk.
So everybody's going in a leaderboard.
Professor Hulk, that's a good one, isn't it?
Professor Hulk? Who's named Professor Hulk? What's Professor Hulk? Right, stay out of the competitions. Who's heard of Professor Hulk? I've never ever heard Professor and Hulk go in the same fucking sentence. There's Hulk and there's Bruce Banner, but there isn't Professor Hulk.
There you go, Professor Hulk.
That's not his name. Because he's got glasses on. It doesn't mean he's called the Hulk. Say that again.
I'll be Superwoman then.
Spider-Man.
I'll go with Hulk.
Professor Hulk.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
I'll be Morty.
Who the fuck is Morty? These are English superheroes, not Polish ones.
Haven't seen Rick and Morty series?
Yeah, I know that. I know. No, you're not fucking Morty. That's not superhero. I don't know what cartoons you grew up watching as superheroes, but Morty definitely ain't one of them.
Let's go with the Iron Man, yeah.
Iron Man, yeah, brilliant. Great one.
That was for you. You're a Tony Stark.
Not anymore. Patrick is. He stole it from me. I'm going to have to be Morty now. Here comes Ant-Man. This belt actually cost me quite a lot of money, so we need to use it. Yeah, it's not a cheap one. As the World Trade Mastermind Heavyweight Sales title. What's the sales target for the month? What's the current sales and what department have they come from? Customer acquisition, customer accounts, recurring revenue, recruitment. So you're going to do this now while I'm talking, so it's done. If the first 3 people that buy after I announce the speaker, they're going to win a helicopter ride and dinner with me in the Shard. So a helicopter ride around London with me and dinner with me in the Shard in October. And guess what? Top salesman gets to come in the helicopter with me, and top salesman gets to come on the private jet with me as well. Oh shit! The game just changed! Yeah, look, there's a fucking absolute legend of here of a speaker on Champion Speaker. We've got to get that guy booked in, haven't we? Look. What a fucking boss. Yeah, we've just booked a fucking top talent on Champion Speakers. Former CEO of Impregas, CEO of Power to Succeed, and CEO of the Trade Mastermind. Fucking hell, 100 grand bargain, snap him up. Here, get the fees transferred into his account straight away. If anybody walks into the room and they wonder who is the danger, I am the danger. Nothing's been done. No results, no sales. Absolutely shocking. No, the management meetings have been good. Good structure. Pleased with putting all the senior team together. And by slowly, I'll get this marketing team actually getting results. Currently, they're not delivering any results. So until that happens, yeah, it's on tomorrow, yeah? So tomorrow I need to start getting results from tomorrow because my patients are wearing out with the lack of results coming out of this marketing department. So we're just back with our $100 million man, our 100 million net worth man, mentor, Neville Wright. Looking forward to seeing him. He's always got a lot of value to share, a lot of knowledge. Obviously, he's incredibly successful in business and in property. I need some cash, so hopefully I'm going to convince him to give me some or to guarantor a finance facility that I need.
So, how's things?
Yeah, good, thank you, yeah. Basically, when I first asked you about it, they gave us a 600 grand facility. We got it in January. We maxed it by the middle of February and got the 600 grand, all cash into the business. We used that money to start to build and develop infrastructure and products within the business. We hit it pretty quickly because our products are 2 grand a month plus VAT, so 24 grand plus VAT, so 28 grand. So you've only got to do 20 sales and you've maxed the facility. So we did that in a matter of weeks. Right. So we said, right, well, we want to sign people onto recurring contracts, so every month we don't start from zero and have to find loads of new revenue. Which was the right move, but it was, in isolation, the wrong strategy to do without another big ticket strategy because we couldn't cash flow that period. Wish we were smarter with it because we jumped in for growth straight away, but it was like literally overnight. We went from no finance with those guys to having 600 grand in the account. It was the easiest money we ever got. The stupidest spent, I think, but the easiest money we ever got. I wish we had that opportunity to go again now and didn't go and build off what we went and built and hire all those people and waste loads of money on recruitment fees and everything that we did because we burned through a lot of it and it cash flowed some of the months. But Trade Mastermind currently is good for, I would say, 4 million a year without stretching it too much. 4 million in sales a year. £250,000 is 10%, £500,000 is 25%, £1 million is 35%, and £2 million is 40%.
The biggest problem at the moment, I see, is when is the next lockdown? Are you prepared for the next lockdown?
Yeah. We stream it now anyway, so people in Scotland are paying 10 grand a year to stream it, and Wales, and so we have the live in person plus the stream version. But I just want to know, do you think that those numbers for that person when I see them today are going to be attractive enough?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
What you're offering is really good. But the circumstances at the moment are very peculiar.
Yeah.
You know, there's a new wave of the pandemic, which Bill Gates said a couple of years ago, you won't laugh at the second one.
Cool. All right, man, we'll let you go and crack on anyway.
But give us a shout if there's anything.
Definitely. I'll drop you a message and we'll see you in a few weeks. Hi, good morning and welcome to the Millionaire Mastermind second live show. And I am very excited because this morning I am going to be announcing the second Millionaire Mastermind 2024 speaker. Woo! Well done. So the speaker is the one and only Ant Middleton. Ant was in the SAS, the SBS. He's created an incredible personal brand across the globe. He sold millions of product worldwide in books and TV and live shows, and he's agreed to come and speak at the Millionaire Mastermind. We now have Karen Brady, Ant Middleton, and tomorrow we are going to be announcing the third speaker live at lunchtime to tell them why they got a part with 15 grand. And again, find a way to justify the investment. If that 15 grand compounds to 10% is 150. If you get 100 times your money, it's 1.5 million. Well, if you're in a room full of people worth hundreds of millions and billions, you think how you're going to learn how to make a million? Do you think?
Yeah, of course.
There you go then. Drop the money, let's do this. Yeah? So, you know, it's a no-brainer investment, isn't it? Yeah? Alright guys, thank you. I'm not sure you should keep this bit in. I don't really like it. Nah, take out that apartment bit. Completely end to end, yeah. Excellent, well done. You know, the best bit needs to really be the beginning, and then it needs to end wanting more for the next episode. Now Tuesday, yeah, we want to have this done, finished, finalised, ready to play on Friday. And then once it goes out on Sunday, it's going to be every week, Sunday, yeah? So you've got a week's turnaround. Seeing as a fact that we've now got 1.2 million on premium, that's a fucking result. I spoke to Keir after and he was like, you're a fucking genius. I mean, he's doubled our limit straight away.
Any due diligence.
I know, it's fucking fantastic. Brilliant. And it's live now, so we need to put a plan on that tomorrow.